It's not going well today. Frankie's bass amp has gone wrong now.
This is the whore, I call it the whore, my amp, and she screams. Play it.
After a rummage and a poke around the back, Pedro works his magic.
He's very good at this kind of thing. In fact, he has a 100% success rate so far with things of this. They took him to the States, and whenever there was a problem, rather than our method of just hitting things very hard, he had another method, using tools and various pieces of electrical engineering and knowledge too, which he'd developed over the years.
The bass amp, yeah, it was just the bias for the valves in the back were not set properly, so he was cutting off. Kind of gated sound. When he plays quiet, he just plays really weird, and when he plays loud, it's kind of alright, but now he's fixed it.
After a quick swig of his magic vocal potion, Justin's ready for the sound check. Just in case you're wondering, your bum does look big in those trousers. 7:15. The sound check's over, and the guitars are taken up to the dressing room to be restrung.
Fucking Tom. Who is he? I think his own conscience is beating him off enough, really.
He's unconscious.
He's unconscious. He will be fucking unconscious in a minute.
Good, thanks, yeah.
There are another 2 hours before the band go on, so there's nothing else to do but hang out in the dressing room.
You get very bored to find ways to amuse yourself, and that's when all the tomfoolery starts to happen. But not in my department, obviously.
Can't even afford anything to eat, so we can't afford any drugs.
No money, no drugs, just some surreal practical jokes with other bands like the Wild Hearts.
They put bananas in our kettle, I think.
And I put slices of ham in the Wild Hearts tissue box. So when they went to get some tissues, they got slices of ham. And then I put luncheon meat into the kettle, so when they boiled it, they've got the flavour of boiled meat, which is probably like actually because they're Geordies. Nice guys though, nice guys.
Does the band think Pedro is a better sound man than Tom is a driver?
He's the reason we sound good. Simple as that. Over for ages we were like playing in venues without a sound guy. He's using in-house engineers and they don't have a clue. He knows how to push everything as loud as it will go. And he also doesn't give a fuck as well. He doesn't care. Hence, you know, arriving 3 hours late for a sound check and still getting a sound check.
It's 7:45 and the doors are open downstairs, the audience is coming in, and Tom finally showed up with a fully functioning van, thanks to a lot of help from a very talkative AA man.
Wasted 2 hours for the AA to arrive, and then we went off somewhere between Kent and Essex. And he told me all about a load of trivia about London and why Canning Town was called Canning Town, and why Barking was called Barking, and he was a very nice man, but he delved a little bit too deep into his trivia for my liking.
The Darkness is about to go on stage. Rock and roll. So I was just going to go and set up the desk from the Darkness, and yeah, Bob's your uncle. There you go.
Pedro and the band make their last-minute tweaks and try to keep an eye on Tom, just in case he decides to fill the drum kit with paint stripper or plug a fire hose into the guitar. They literally can't afford any more mistakes, because after they paid for the new van, its petrol, the old van and its petrol and diesel, this gig will have virtually earned them nothing. But there are no bad feelings, and Tom gets to join in a big group hug before the band hits the stage.
Just a little bit more. With a chance to make it now. When we make it to the sun goes down. I'm alive in a picture of love. Ooh. Touching you, touching me, touching you, gotta get touching you. I believe in a thing called love. Just a little bit more. With a chance we can make it now. When we make it till the sun goes down. I believe in a thing called love. Ooh.
It's all over. So, was it worth all the frantic effort?
It's fucking wicked!
In the end, Tom didn't get the sack for putting petrol in the van, but 2 weeks later, while he was driving the band back from a gig in Liverpool, he let the van run out of petrol at 2 a.m. on the M6. Tom's no longer working for the Darkness.